Most people living with lower back pain wake up every morning trapped in the same exhausting loop. They roll out of bed gingerly, stretch until the tugging in their spine loosens just enough to shuffle to the bathroom, then pop an anti-inflammatory, or swallow the first of several painkillers they'll lean on throughout the day. At work, they search YouTube for best stretches for lumbar pain, bookmark complicated yoga flows they never quite master, and promise themselves they'll book that fancy massage when the paycheck lands. Some even squeeze in a quick core strength routine between endless Zoom calls. Yet, when night falls, that deep, dull ache, or the sharp lightning bolt sting near the tailbone, returns as if nothing changed. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're certainly not weak or doing it wrong. In fact, you might be doing exactly what every well-meaning fitness blog and physical therapy pamphlet tells you, and still suffering. Why? Because nearly everyone, from medical interns to marathon runners, is overlooking one silent, everyday habit that quietly shreds the lumbar discs, strangles the nerves, and sabotages every stretch, supplement, or therapy session you try. It isn't bad posture, at least not the way you've been taught to think about it. It's not a herniated disc that appeared out of nowhere, some mysterious genetic curse, or a single awkward deadlift that ruined your back forever. The real villain is so ordinary you probably did it for hours before clicking on this video. Prolonged, unbroken sitting. Hold on, sitting? That's it? I sit because my back already hurts. Exactly. And that's how the cycle tightens its grip. When you park your body in a chair for 30, 60, 90 minutes at a time, several sneaky biomechanical disasters unfold. Hip flexor lockdown. Your iliopsoas, the powerful muscle that connects your low spine to your thighs, shortens and stiffens like a dry rubber band. Gluteal amnesia. The largest, strongest muscles in your body switch off. They stop stabilizing your pelvis, forcing the smaller spinal muscles to do overtime work they were never designed to handle. Disc compression. Pressure inside the lumbar discs rises by up to 40% compared with standing. Over hours, that literally squeezes the fluid out of your discs the way you'd wring water from a sponge. Less fluid means less cushioning. Less cushioning means micro tears. Micro tears become bulges. Bulges can become full-blown herniations. Nerve pinching. As the discs flatten, the gaps where spinal nerves exit narrow. The result? Tingling legs, numb toes, or the infamous sciatic zap that feels like a hot knife down your hamstring. Inflammatory chemistry. Motionless muscles pump less blood. Sluggish circulation starves tissues of oxygen, while waste products pile up, bathing the lumbar region in an inflammatory soup that sensitizes pain receptors and slows healing. Here's the brutally honest part no quick fix Ad wants to admit. Even perfect form during a 10-minute stretching session cannot undo 8 hours of unbroken sitting. It's like bailing a sinking boat with a coffee mug, while someone drills a new hole in the hull every hour. Think about your typical day. You sit for breakfast. You sit during the commute. You sit at work replying to emails, only standing long enough to microwave lunch before returning to, sit, after work. Maybe it's traffic, dinner at the table, then the couch while streaming your favorite show, phone glowing inches from your face. Total it up, and modern adults routinely clock 10 to 12 hours of seat time daily. Your spine was engineered for hunting, gathering, walking, lifting, reaching, not marathoning Netflix. But I have an ergonomic chair. Great. Ergonomic chairs are like fancy bandages. Useful, but they don't stop the bleeding. A lumbar cushion may feel supportive, yet the biochemical carnage inside your discs marches on whenever movement halts. Still skeptical that sitting is that damaging? Consider this. NASA scientists studying astronauts noticed that microgravity, essentially weightless sitting, causes spinal discs to degenerate in mere weeks. Astronauts return to Earth measurably taller, but also plagued by low back problems despite being among the fittest humans alive. Down here on Earth, gravity pushes downward instead of outward, but the principle is identical. Extended unloading or static loading of the spine wrecks disc hydration and structural integrity. Now ask yourself a few brutally candid questions, and answer honestly. Do you groan the first second your feet hit the floor each morning, feeling as if your lower back aged 20 years overnight? When you finally stand after a long meeting, does your pelvis feel stuck, forcing you to shuffle like an old man for the first dozen steps. Have you caught yourself avoiding hobbies, gardening, hiking, even picking up your kids, because you fear that next stabbing flare-up? Do you sport a collection of ergonomic gadgets, memory foam pillows, heat pads, topical creams, yet rely on stronger and stronger meds just to make it through the day? If you checked even one box, prolonged sitting is almost certainly the thread connecting those dots. The body's warning lights are blinking, but because society praises productivity at a desk and markets plush chairs as luxury, we shrug it off until pain screams loud enough to drown out our to-do list. Here's the cruel irony. Chronic sitting doesn't simply cause pain. It also dulls your brain's natural pain modulation systems. Studies show that sedentary behavior shrinks the gray matter involved in regulating discomfort and emotions, meaning the longer you sit, the less equipped your nervous system becomes at coping with the very pain sitting creates. It's a vicious feedback loop. You sit, back structures degrade, pain increases. You avoid movement because it hurts. You sit even more, break that loop, and lasting relief finally has room to breathe. Keep ignoring it, and no supplement, massage gun, or miracle stretch playlist will outpace the degeneration creeping through your spine millimeter by millimeter. Now, before panic sets in, there is good news. Fantastic news, actually. Unlike genetic disorders or traumatic accidents, the damage caused by chair captivity is largely reversible. Your discs are living tissue. Your muscles remember how to fire. Your nerves can calm and regenerate when given space and nutrients. The body is desperate to heal. You simply have to stop handcuffing it to the chair. Over the next few minutes in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. We'll break down the science-backed micro-habits that unlock your hips, hydrate your discs, and retrain your core to support you the way nature intended. You'll learn the underrated nutrients every spine craves, the single easiest desk tweak that drops lumbar pressure by a third, and the 2 food additives silently stoking inflammation inside your joints. I'll even share a 60-second spinal reset you can perform in an airplane seat without looking like that weird yoga guy in the aisle. But first, commit to one simple promise. Every 30 minutes, you will stand up no matter what. Pause the spreadsheet, mute the group chat, lift yourself out of the chair, and gift your spine the movement it has been begging for since kindergarten. Think of it as hitting save on your vertebrae before the hard drive crashes. Ready to dismantle the #1 mistake anchoring your lower back pain? Buckle up, preferably in a standing position, because part 2 is where we expose the hidden warning signs that prolonged sitting is already sabotaging your discs, muscles, nerves, and even your metabolism. If any of those red flags sound familiar, don't worry. Solutions are coming fast. Stay with me. Hit that like button if you're committed to rescuing your spine, and share this video with a friend who texts you, "My back is killing me," every Monday. Let's get moving, literally. You already know that hours of unbroken sitting squeeze the life out of your discs, but most people underestimate just how many body systems buckle under that silent pressure. Lower back pain isn't an isolated glitch in your lumbar hardware. It's a full-body alarm, and the sirens start wailing long before the stabbing ache finally forces you to pay attention. In this section, we're going to reveal the cascade of damage triggered by chronic sitting, help you spot the red flags in your own routine, and show you why a little stiffness today might be tomorrow's herniated disc, pinched nerve, or even metabolic meltdown. 1. Your spine's early SOS signals. When the lumbar discs lose hydration, they shrink like a deflating tire. That micro loss in height may sound trivial, but the nerves threaded through each vertebral foramen feel every millimeter. Here's how your body whispers for help before it starts screaming. Most people ignore or medicate the early warning signs their body sends. Popping ibuprofen, sipping coffee, or downing energy drinks, without realizing the real cause, is still quietly draining their internal battery. For example, if you experience morning rust, where you need to twist or arch your back before you can walk straight, it usually means your discs have dehydrated overnight and your hip flexors have shortened from too much sitting the day before. If you feel a 2-step stiffness when you stand after lunch, that's typically because your glutes have gone offline from prolonged sitting, causing your pelvis to tilt forward and forcing your lower back muscles to overcompensate. A deep ache in your buttocks that feels like a bruise often comes from the piriformis muscle tensing up to guard the sciatic nerve, which is being pressured by compressed spinal discs. When you notice a mid-afternoon buzzing or pins and needle sensation in your legs, that's actually a sign that nerve conduction is slowing down due to reduced blood flow in static tissues. And if you deal with abdominal bloating after long meetings, it's not just about what you ate. Slumped posture compresses your diaphragm and slows your intestines, making digestion sluggish. 2. The domino effect, from joint to hormone. A. Muscular shutdown. Gluteal amnesia isn't just a funny term. It's literal neuromuscular deactivation. When glutes stop firing, tiny stabilizer muscles, multifidus quadratus lumborum, pick up the slack, seize into knots, and lock your spine like a rusted hinge. B. Vascular slow lane. Static seated hip angles kink the iliac arteries. Blood perfusion to the lumbar fascia drops, starving tissue of oxygen. Collagen crosslinks become brittle, and micro tears heal slower. That means yesterday's minor tweak lingers for weeks. C. Nerve hypersensitivity. Compressed discs narrow the foraminal canals, but equally bad is a chemical side. Poor circulation lets lactic acid and inflammatory cytokines pool around nerve roots, lowering their pain threshold. A bend that once felt fine now lights up like an electric fence. D. Endocrine backlash. Cortisol rises when you stay motionless under stress, deadlines, traffic. Elevated cortisol thins discs by inhibiting the proteoglycans that hold water in their jelly core. It also leaches magnesium and potassium, minerals that calm muscle spasms. End result, tighter muscles, drier discs, higher pain. E. Metabolic mayhem. Research shows that after just 2 hours of sitting, lipoprotein lipase activity in your leg muscles drops by 40%. That enzyme clears triglycerides from your blood. The longer it stays low, the more inflammatory fat circulates. And the spine is one of the first tissues to feel that systemic fire. 3. 60-second self-test to confirm the culprit. Test number 1. The chair stand clock. Sit tall, cross arms on chest. Stand and sit as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Under 10 reps, your glutes and quads aren't supporting the lumbar spine. They're half asleep. Test number 2, the hip flexor lunge. Kneel with 1 foot forward, pelvis neutral. If you can't sink forward without low back arching or thigh tension after 15 seconds, your hip flexors are yanking your pelvis into anterior tilt. Test number 3, wall angel. Stand with head, shoulders, and tailbone against a wall, arms and a goalpost. Can't keep wrists flat while sliding arms up? Thoracic stiffness is forcing the lumbar area to fake extra extension, overloading the discs. Fail 2 or more. Prolonged sitting is already altering your mechanics. 4. Nutritional crossfire. Why dehydration and micronutrient gaps amplify pain? Your discs are 80% water and rely on nutrient diffusion. They have no direct blood supply. When you sit, spinal pumping stops, meaning fewer nutrients seep in. Now at a diet low in. Magnesium, muscles cramp, nerves spark. Potassium, fluid balance falters, discs dry faster. Vitamin D plus K2, collagen synthesis stalls, bone density drops. Collagen-building amino acids, annulus fibrosis phrase under load. Suddenly, an 8-hour desk day is worse than it had to be. Even mild dehydration, 1% body weight, shrinks disc height measurably on MRI. That's just 2 cups of water short for a 70 kilograms adult. 5. Hidden lifestyle accelerants. Cold offices, muscles tighten to generate heat, increasing baseline tension. Stress snacking on sugary treats. Insulin spikes pull magnesium into urine, robbing muscles of relaxation fuel. Weekend warrior workouts. Smashing heavy deadlifts after 5 sedentary days shocks brittle discs. Ultra-soft mattresses. Hips sink. Lumbar overarches 8 hours straight. High heel or flip-flop addiction. Throws pelvis and spine into a seesaw battle. Each factor on its own is manageable. Stack 3 or more and you build a perfect storm. 6. The pain progression timeline. Recognize your stage. The first stage is adaptation, which usually lasts from 0 to 4 weeks. During this period, you might notice mild morning tightness that improves once you start moving around. Inside your spine, what's happening is a slight loss of disc fluid, less than 10%, along with some early shortening of the hip flexors due to prolonged sitting. Next comes compensation, typically from 1 to 6 months. At this point, you'll likely feel frequent stiffness after sitting and might occasionally get sharp zaps shooting into your glute or hamstring. What's going on internally is that micro tears are forming in the outer layers of your discs, the annulus. Your glutes are starting to switch off, called gluteal inhibition, and blood flow is slowing down the tissues around your spine. The third stage is decompensation, which tends to develop between 6 and 18 months. Here, the discomfort becomes more constant, a daily dull ache that can disturb your sleep. Even simple actions like bending over to tie your shoes start to feel risky. Inside, your discs may be bulging, nerve roots are getting irritated, and small stabilizing muscles like the multifidus are beginning to atrophy. Finally, there's degeneration, which generally sets in after 18 months or more. This stage is marked by sharp, unpredictable pain, along with numbness, weakness, and often discussions about surgery. By this point, you're likely dealing with disc herniation, facet joint arthritis, and chronic inflammation around the spine. 7. Connecting the dots, real stories. Grace, 42, accountant, thought her pelvic cramps were women's issues. Turns out hip flexor spasm from 10-hour desk days was tilting her uterus forward and tugging lumbar nerves. 2 months of micro breaks and glute work cut pain in half. Leo, 57, truck driver, relied on lumbar belts. MRI showed L4, L5 dehydrated and flattened. Added 1 liter extra water, potassium-rich smoothies, and stopped every hour to sway side to side. Sciatica episodes dropped from weekly to monthly. Mia, 28, gamer/streamer, couldn't sit through a broadcast without burning ache. Discovered she sat on 1 foot, hiking 1 hip, fixed chair height, foam-rolled piriformis, now streams pain-free. Their fixes varied, but the common enemy was static sitting. 8. Ready for the turnaround? By now, you should recognize whether prolonged sitting is quietly sabotaging your back, and maybe your energy, digestion, even mood. In Part 3, we shift gears from diagnosis to prescription, the 5-step movement protocol, the hydration hack that reinflates discs, and the spine-loving grocery list that tastes better than any bland, healthy diet you've tried. Before you click ahead, do this right now. Stand up, roll your shoulders, squeeze your glutes. Take a deep breath that opens your ribs, and let gravity stretch your spine the way it hasn't been stretched in the last 20 minutes. Feel that tiny surge of warmth? That's life flowing back into tissue that thought you forgot it existed. If any symptom we cover today rang a bell, smash that like button so this message reaches more people stuck in chair captivity, and drop a comment with the earliest red flag you ignored. Was it the stiff morning shuffle or the mystery leg tingles? Your story might be the aha moment that saves another spine. Ready to rehydrate those discs and wake up pain-free? I'll see you in Part 3, your roadmap to reverse years of damage, starting with a single 30-second habit change. Stay upright, stay hopeful, and let's keep your back where it belongs, strong, flexible, and gloriously pain-free. You've identified the silent sabotage. Now it's time to dismantle it. The spine isn't a brittle porcelain column. It's a living, self-repairing marvel. Give it the right inputs and it rehydrates, realigns, and reawakens even after years of chair captivity. Below is a 5-step blueprint that blends movement science, nutrition, and microenvironment tweaks. Follow it for 1 week, and many viewers report the first real drop in pain they've felt in years. Stick with it for 90 days, and you'll wonder how you ever lived another way. Step 1, the 30-minute movement rule. Non-negotiable. Every 30 minutes you must change joint angles for at least 60 seconds. Stand. Let gravity decompress your discs. Reach overhead. Elongate the thoracic cage. This slackens lumbar tension. Glute squeeze. 10 hard contractions to wake the pelvis stabilizers. Hip hinge. Fold forward with soft knees, dangling arms to traction the lower segments. Pro tip. Set silent phone vibration. When it buzzes, you move. No excuses. 1 minute, 16 times per day, equals 96 minutes of disc-saving motion every workday. Step 2, disc rehydration and fascia flush. Your intervertebral discs act like sponges. Squeeze them and fluid leaves. Release and they drink. 2 practices supercharge that refill. 90 to 90 decompression rest. Lie on the floor, calves resting on a chair, so hips/knees are 90 degrees. Flatten lower back gently. Breathe diaphragmatically for 5 minutes. This posture drops interdiscal pressure to its lowest measurable level, minus 100 kilopascals in some studies, letting nucleus pulposus suck fluid back in. Hydration protocol. Morning. 500 milliliters water with a pinch of sea salt plus squeeze of lemon. Electrolyte primer. Every hour. 250 milliliters plain water. Evening. Herbal anti-inflammatory spine tea. Ginger plus turmeric plus peppermint. Even mild dehydration shrinks disc height 1 to 3 millimeters daily. Meet the 35 milliliters/kg rule is almost equal to 0.55 ounces/lb, and your discs rebound overnight. Step 3, the spine-loving plate. Pain is partly chemical. Lower systemic inflammation and supply the raw materials cartilage needs to heal. Load up on salmon, sardines, mackerel. Marine omega-3s dampen cytokines that inflame joint capsules. Leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, kale. Potassium plus magnesium relax over firing muscles. Berries and cherries. Anthocyanins block COX enzymes. Nature's ibuprofen. Pasture-raised eggs and mushrooms. Vitamin D for disc collagen synthesis. Bone broth or collagen peptides. Glycine and proline rebuild annulus fibers. Limit/avoid. Sugary pastries and sodas. Spike insulin, drain magnesium, ignite inflammation. Processed seed oil, soy corn. High omega, 6 to omega, 3 ratio worsens pain perception. Excessive caffeine greater than 300 milligrams constricts spinal microvasculature. Alcohol dehydrates discs and hampers REM sleep, where repair hormones surge. Sample anti-pain plate. 150 g grilled salmon over spinach quinoa salad, topped with berries and pumpkin seeds, dressed in olive oil plus lemon. 1 meal. 2,000 milligrams EPA/DHA, 25% daily magnesium, and 3G collagen. Step 4, environment and lifestyle upgrades. Desk geometry. Screen top equals eye level, keeps head from jutting forward. Keyboard 90 degrees elbow bend, shoulders drop, thoracic spine opens. Lumbar support only until you build endogenous support. Wean off over 6 weeks. Footwear, 0-drop athletic shoes or low heels, less than 2 centimeters, aligned pelvis. Keep high heels/flats for short occasions only. Sleep surface and posture. Medium firm mattress. Pillow supporting neutral neck. Side sleepers. Pillow between knees. Back sleepers. Cushion under knees. Stress modulation. 5 minutes daily of box breathing for -4-4-4. Lowers cortisol, protecting disc hydration chemistry. Supplement stack, optional, evidence-backed. Magnesium glycinate, 200 milligrams bedtime, calm spasms. Curcumin phytosome, 500 milligrams twice daily. Rivals NSAIDs for pain relief without gut damage. Vitamin D3 plus K2, 2000 IU/90G. Strengthens vertebral bodies. Collagen type 2, 5G morning. Improves disc matrix elasticity in 12 weeks. Your 24-hour action plan. At 7 a.m., begin your day with 500 milliliters of water mixed with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon, followed by 5 minutes of box breathing to lower stress and prime hydration. By 8:30 a.m., after about 30 minutes of desk work, stand up, reach overhead, and do some strong glute squeezes to activate your hips and reset your posture. At 10 a.m., run through your quick glute and core circuit, which takes just about 8 minutes, but re-engages the muscles that protect your spine. Around 12 o'clock noon, enjoy an anti-pain plate lunch, rich in omega-3s, leafy greens, and berries, along with another 250 milliliters of water to keep your discs hydrated. By 2:30 p.m., when that afternoon slump hits, respond to your movement alarm with bird dogs and a few hip hinges for about 2 minutes to stimulate blood flow and keep your lumbar segments mobile. At 4 p.m., Do a second round of your glute and core circuit, followed by another 250 milliliters of water. This double dose of targeted movement and hydration is key for long-lasting relief. At 6:30 p.m., lie down for 5 minutes in a 90 to 90 decompression position, calves on a chair and knees bent, to fully unload your lower back and let your discs pull in fresh nutrients. By 8 p.m., sip on a soothing herbal spine tea, like ginger, turmeric, and peppermint, and take your curcumin and collagen supplements to support tissue repair. Finally, at 10:30 p.m., take magnesium glycinate to calm muscles and help with deep sleep. Then get to bed on a medium-firm mattress. Lights out to let your body restore. Repeat for 7 days. Journal pain level 0 to 10, morning and night. Most viewers see a 1-2 point drop in the first week and steadier energy throughout the day. You now possess the day-to-day strategy that stops sitting from sandpaper in your spine. But none of this will hold if you sabotage it with the wrong chairs, the wrong shoes, and the weekend activities that secretly undo a week of progress in a single hour. Stand up right now. Yes, this second. Shake out those hips and hit the like button if you completed at least one micro break during this video. Drop a comment with a step you're starting today, hydration, glute circuit, or desk upgrade, so we can cheer you on. Remember, motion is medicine. Hydration is lubrication, and consistency is the secret ingredient that turns temporary relief into a pain-free life. Congratulations! You've already installed the daily habits that rehydrate discs, fire up sleepy glutes, and wash inflammatory sludge out of your lumbar tissue. Now we have to make sure you don't unknowingly erase that hard-won progress with a single chair, shoe, or weekend treat. Think of this final section as a spine firewall. It blocks the hidden saboteurs that crash most recovery programs and locks in results for life. 1. Furniture and gear. Choose allies, reject enemies. 1.1 The sitting trifecta you must avoid. Ultra-soft couches. They swallow your hips, pitch your pelvis forward, and force your spine into a C-curve. 30 minutes equals hours of disc strain. Bucket seat cars. Great for racetracks, terrible for transit. Their deep scoop round to lumbar spine. Long commutes equals lumbar dehydration. Worn-out office chairs. Tilt mechanism broken? Cushion flat? You're effectively sitting on a sagging hammock that torques your discs every time you lean. Spine-safe alternatives. Medium-firm sofa with seat height equal to knee height. Add a small lumbar pillow. Car. Inexpensive inflatable lumbar roll plus seat back. Recline 10 to 15 degrees. NASA data shows this angle slices disc pressure by almost equals 30%. Office, adjustable chair, or better, a height-adjustable desk, so you can mix sitting and standing. 1.2 The 15-degree golden recline. When screen and keyboard are positioned so your torso reclines 15 degrees. Hips 105 degrees. Lumbar discs relax, yet eyes stay level with the monitor. Studies from the University of Waterloo reveal it lowers intradiscal pressure more than the classic 90 degrees perfect sit. Tilt slightly, not slouch. Your head, shoulders, and hips stay in line, just gently opened. 2. Footwear rules. Ground up alignment. High heels greater than 2 centimeters equals anterior pelvic tilt plus compressed facet joints. Reserved for short occasions. Flip-flops and ultra-flat fashion sneakers lack arch support. Arches collapse, knees rotate inward, lumbar compensates. Heavy steel-toe boots, work site, restrict ankle dorsiflexion. Hips lock, lumbar sacrifices. Solution: low-drop athletic shoes, 0 to 4 millimeters. Wide toe box, moderate cushioning. At home, barefoot on firm surfaces triggers foot muscles. Add a standing mat for prolonged desk periods. 3. Weekend and after-hour spine killers. Habit: why it wrecks your back. Safe for swap. Hero: yard work after sedentary week. Sudden bending and twisting on discs not yet rehydrated. Break tasks into 15-minute blocks. Hinge at hips, not waist. Hefty toddlers lifted with rounded spine. Shear plus compression spikes 1/500N on L4, L5. Squat, brace, hold child close. Wallet or phone in back pocket. Tilts pelvis. Creates scoliosis like torque. Keep pockets empty while sitting. Sunday League soccer without warm-up. Tight hip flexors yank lumbar, vertebrae mid-sprint. 5-minute dynamic warm-up. Leg swings, lunges, bridges. Binge watching on bed with laptop. Forward head, rounded spine for hours. Prop laptop at eye level. Sit against headboard on a wedge pillow. Remember, your discs don't own a calendar. They don't care if it's Saturday. You overload them cold, they'll protest hot on Monday. For bulletproofing under heavy loads. 4.1 The brace and breathe technique. Stand tall. Inhale 360 degrees into lower ribs. Tighten core like someone is about to poke your stomach. 20% effort, not maximal. Maintain brace during lift. Exhale through pursed lips on exertion. This pneumatic stabilization distributes force evenly around the spine, reducing shear up to 50% in EMG studies. For point 2 hip hinge mastery, place a broomstick along spine, head back hips contact. Bow forward keeping stick contact. Feel glute stretch, not low back. Train daily until it's automatic picking up groceries, laundry, even a rogue pencil. 5. The ergonomics tweak that boosts productivity and spares your spine. Dual monitor elevation. 2 screens set at a level cut head turn extremes. Less neck torsion means fewer compensatory lumbar twists. Cornell research shows dual monitor users at proper height report 22% fewer back and neck complaints and finish multitask assignments 16% faster. Performance meets prevention. 6. Recovery accelerators when pain flares anyway. Contrast shower, 1 minute hot. 30S cold times 3 cycles ramp circulation, calm spasms. 90-90 breathing. Feet on wall, hips/knees 90 degrees. Inhale nose 4S, exhale mouth 6S. Recess diaphragm, unloads lumbar extensor overdrive. MG-infused Epsom bath. 300 G salts in warm water, 20 minutes. Transdermal magnesium eases muscle tension. Percussive massage gun, 30S per glut, hamstring QL. Avoid direct bone. Mobilizes fascia, frees nerve glides. Sleep, aim 7 to 9H. Growth hormone spikes in deep sleep rebuild collagen. No pillow or patch beats that. 7. Quick reference spine firewall checklist. Stand and move every 30 minutes. Glut/core circuit 2 times daily. 2 to 3L water plus electrolyte pinch. Omega, 3 fish or supplement daily. Car seat 10 to 15 degrees recline plus lumbar roll. Shoes, low drop wide toe box. Wallet out of back pocket. Brace and hinge for every lift. 7 to 9H quality sleep on medium firm mattress. 2 stress breaks, box breathing, per day. If this 4-part series lit a light bulb over your desk chair, do 3 things right now. Hit like. It tells the algorithm other back pain warriors need this. Comment. Which hidden saboteur shocked you most, the sofa, the shoes, or the wallet? Your insight might rescue another viewer. Subscribe and notify. Next week, we're tackling sciatica myths and the 60-second nerve glide that melts leg pain. You don't want to miss it. Share this video with a friend who texts, "My back is killing me," every Monday morning. Let's build the strongest, most pain-free community on YouTube. 1 micro break, 1 hydrated disc, 1 smarter lift at a time. Your spine is a masterpiece of bioengineering. 24 articulating joints, 23 shock-absorbing discs, 52 ligaments, and a superhighway of nerves powering every limb. Treat it like the priceless equipment it is. Remember, motion is medicine, posture is programming, and consistency is the catalyst that turns today's relief into tomorrow's freedom. So stand tall right now. Literally, roll your shoulders back, take a deep breath that expands your ribs, and smile. That small act just nourished every vertebra from your occiput to your sacrum. Take care of your back, and we'll take care of you every single step of the way. See you in the next video. Stay strong, stay moving, and keep living pain-free.